upstate New York, and I've been wearing hearing aids for about 3 years. Well, I had gone to some audiologists. I just really didn't think I was a candidate. I was kind of faking it and guessing what people were saying, and it wasn't working. I got the Lexie hearing aids. Well, it's been night and day. Conversations at the family dinner table, watching a movie that I don't have to put on the subtitles for anymore. I get emotional sometimes because you really, if you're missing something and it comes back and you didn't think it was going to come back, that's a gift. And my kids are happier than I am that we were able to discover that again.
Wow, heavy stuff. Welcome into an hour of Lexie B2 Plus hearing aids. Lexie and Bose joining forces to give you the first over-the-counter hearing aid, first of its kind. And over the next hour, by the way, my name is Brett Hamilton. We're going to take the time finally to have a full hour to really kind of dive in and explore what this technology is all about and talk about how it truly could change the way that you go through your life, that you go through your daily routine, and possibly get back something that, as Jeff just said, that you didn't even know you were missing. So what are they? These are the B2 hearing aids from Lexie and Bose. This is item E316348. It's a big deal price of $799.98. 5 easy pays, which comes out to about $1.60, and free shipping. They do qualify for 12 months financing if you've got a Q card. I want to show you real quick before we get into it what you're getting, because there's a lot here. And typically, what's on this first little stand is what you would get at retail. If you went to the store or even at QVC, you would get your 2 hearing aids, which, by the way, are rechargeable. They come in the case. You've got the charging cable itself. You've got the manual. You've got some cleaning tools, and you have the domes. But as part of this big deal offer, we are also throwing in a care kit, which is not a throwaway. This is actually something that you're going to use on a pretty regular basis, because you put some hearing aids or anything in your ear for a long period of time, they're going to build up moisture. So this is the way to get rid of that. And of course, we all have earwax. Let's talk about earwax for a second. So cleaning tools, and we'll talk about all that stuff over the next hour. But let's talk about right now what these are all about. What is Lexie? What is Bose? What is this? It's the first FDA cleared direct-to-consumer hearing aids developed for adults 18 years and older with perceived mild to moderate hearing impairment. And we'll talk about what that means in a minute. They're paired with a revolutionary Lexie hearing app so that you can fit, you can program, and you can control your Lexie B2 hearing aids powered by Bose for clinically proven audiologist-quality customization. And here's the best part, guys. There's no doctor visit. There's no hearing test. There's no prescription. You're going to do the work, which is quite simple, and I'll show you that throughout the hour, to make setting adjustments yourself in real time in real-world environments without the assistance of a hearing care professional. They were created and developed by a team of both scientists, audiologists, and engineers who took their decades of experience to create the first FDA-cleared direct-to-consumer hearing aids. And that what it will do, essentially, is change the way that you hear. Speech that was mumbled, quieter voices, now easier to hear. And you're wondering, are these for me? Well, take a look at our little graphic right here. On the left-hand side, these are for mild to moderate hearing loss. This is not severe or what they call profound. If it's a severe problem that you're experiencing, clearly you need to go see a doctor. One of the great indicators, and this is a cool test. If you're in a crowded room or an office or a restaurant setting and somebody's speaking and everybody else can hear them and you can't, well, that's probably a sign that you might need a little bit of help. And certainly we all know somebody, if it's not yourself, that has trouble understanding the TV. And if you continue to crank the volume up on the television and you scare everybody else away because it's just to the point of almost being nauseating because it's so loud, well, then that's also another sign that maybe Lexie and Bose could kind of come to the rescue and give you a hand. So over the next hour, we can really kind of take our time and dive in deep to what this technology is all about. So in the past, I think we are all very familiar with what hearing aids are, right? Hearing aids, in the past were very big and they were bulky. Well, now you've got something that's small and lightweight that essentially vanishes. And as you look at this video here, you kind of get a glimpse behind the scenes of what this technology can do for you. First of all, you can now answer phone calls through the hearing aids themselves, which means you can adjust the volume, the treble, the bass, and all that good stuff so that you can hear and understand the person on the other side. Second big one is that you no longer need batteries for your hearing aids because just like your phone, you charge them at night when you go to bed. They're ready to rock in the morning, and they're going to last you multiple days before you need to charge them again. You've got microphones inside there. You've got a processor inside there that will clean up the noise around you, and in some cases suppress that noise so that you have an advantage over somebody that's not wearing a hearing aid. And here's a perfect example: a restaurant. You don't want to hear the kitchen. You don't want to hear the table behind you. You don't want to hear the server across the room. You want to hear the people that you're sitting at the table with. And the technology from Bose and Lexie built inside here will allow you to do just that, which is pretty incredible. Being able to adjust the volume, being able to do the treble and the bass. And again, because we have an hour, I can show you how all of that technology works. So for those of you watching right now, I get it. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. It's earlier, earlier out there on the West Coast. And maybe when you got up this morning, you weren't thinking, okay, well, at some point today, I'm going to purchase hearing aids. But I think a lot of you who struggle, or at least are beginning to struggle with day-to-day conversations, a little bit more of the, I don't want to ask him to say that again, or are you doing this? You're just kind of nodding, you're at the family event. I think we all have somebody in our family as well. It was my stepfather for the longest time who would just do the polite nod, and we were like, something wrong? Yeah, he can't hear. That's what was wrong. It wasn't anything more dire than that. But you think about all that you're missing day in and day out when you can't hear the day-to-day stuff. And it's not just having to turn the TV up. It's not just having to turn the music up louder in the car or, at the movie theater or whatever it might be. It's missing out on the little stuff that matters. And what's incredible about this technology is that there's so much going on inside that you're unaware of. Even I am. I mean, listen, I feel like I have a pretty good grasp as to how all this works, but I cannot wrap my head around the fact that these tiny little devices can truly change the way that you experience sound and get back, as Jeff said at the top there, what you're missing. So again, over the course of this hour, not only am I going to explain how it all works, but kind of give you some good day-to-day kind of advice as to how to adapt to them. Because before we go any further, it's very important to point out that when you get these home, you have to wear them. And I know that sounds obvious, but this is very similar to a new pair of glasses or new contacts or whatever. You get them home and you put the glasses on, and for the first day or so you go, oh, the doctor must have given me the wrong prescription because everything is a little blurry. And then all of a sudden it clicks and your brain catches up and you can see better than you could before. Same goes with hearing aids. You put them in and you can't put them in for 10 minutes and expect a miracle. Your brain has to kind of adapt to a new way of hearing. So this video that I'm about to play for you kind of gives you a glimpse into what the technology and the difference between your world right now and what Bose and Lexie can do for you. But it's not until you get these home and actually hear, and more importantly, participate in the fine-tuning portion of it, that you'll really get a feel for how well they work. But in the meantime, this video is a couple really common scenarios, including a noisy restaurant, watching the TV, whatever it might be. Check out what your world sounds like and what it could sound like thanks to Lexie and Bose. Watch this.
At the end of their long journey, our colony of penguin chicks have reached the ocean. They peer over the edge, waiting for the right moment, anticipating the dangers that await. Until finally, one of them jumps.
Hey, honey, do you hear that?
It sounds like a pair of cardinals.
Where are they? I hear them, but I don't see them.
Oh, I think they're coming.
Looking for our beer specials? So
Tonight, in addition to our usual lineup of IPAs, we've got some great
there's a pale ale from one of our
brewers. It's very crisp and citrusy, if that's what you're into.
I don't think anybody has gone to a restaurant and not experienced the, like, wow, it is really loud in here. And not only can I not hear the server, I can't hear the people sitting, 5 feet away from me. So, there's an example right there of the upper hand that Lexie and Bose could give you, because now you didn't see in that video, but what you could hear in that video was the ability to be able to manipulate your world, the audio portion of it, on the fly, on a phone. If you choose on a tablet, I mean, I think most of us are going to do this on a smartphone. This is compatible with either Apple or Android. So what is the magic? What is the difference between Lexie and Bose and the traditional hearing aid? I'm going to scoot to the side for a second so that I can show you my iPad and I can kind of pull back the curtain and give you guys a feel for what makes these different. This is the app. This is the Lexie B2 Plus or B2 app that you're going to download and that you need in order to use these devices. For those of you that get them home, take them out of the package, put them in your ears, and expect a miracle. That's not going to happen until you put the app onto your device. So once that's done, and it takes 5 minutes, this free app will allow you to change the way you hear depending on your environment. And the first thing you're going to do is adjust the volume, just like a car radio, right? You get into the car and you turn your music on and you turn the volume up to a comfortable level. Now you're saying to yourself, well, how come I need a volume level? I thought the hearing aids would magically just adjust. Well, that's hearing aids of old, and they worked to an extent, but didn't give you the flexibility to be able to go between 36 and 38. It was either like here, here, or here. It was either kind of quiet, somewhere in the middle, or really, really loud. Well, the world doesn't work that way. So what I recommend, and so will the people from Lexie and Bose, is that sit in front of a television or have somebody talk to you while you experiment. And the TV I use as an example, because put the TV at a normal volume when you test these out, not the volume that you've been cranking all this time because you haven't been able to hear the TV. Once you get the level to a comfortable volume, then it's time to really start to experiment. And the next thing you're going to do is mess with the treble and the bass. I always say that if your world sounds really muffled and you wish you could clean it up like that, all you have to do is add a little bit of treble. Now, again, there's no right or wrong here. Start in the middle, start it even, so to speak, right? We're right between the middle for both treble and bass, and just work it up a little bit as you're listening to some audio. And when you get it to where you want it, there you go. Now, if your world goes the other way and everything is really tinty and it's nothing but high end and it's almost painful to listen to, guess what? Doesn't have to be that way anymore. Bring it down here and add some bottom end, add some bass, add the low end. Again, it's personal preference. It's not gonna be the same for everybody. And once you get it where it is, you leave it alone. Now, if you could just do that, that's quite a step ahead from what hearing aids did 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, but it gets better. Down here, and people don't realize this, many of us don't hear the same in one ear as we do in the other. My right ear is not as strong as my left ear. I have no idea why. When I worked all those years in radio, I had headphones on. They covered both ears. If the music was going to do some damage, you think it would have done to both. But I need somewhere around there to even out my left and my right. Could be the other way around for you. And again, there's no right or wrong. You mess with the balance and manipulate it till you get it where you want it. When you find it, you leave it alone and you jump out. All right. That's the basic stuff. Now we get into the James Bond kind of bionic coolness, which is the directionality. And you kind of got a glimpse of it in that video that we showed you at the top. But let me explain it to you now. The hearing aids have microphones in them. These microphones have the ability to kind of listen to everything around you when it's in the everywhere mode. Now, if you're at a restaurant and you're talking to the person in front of you or across from you, and all you're hearing is everything around you, it's getting in the way, you just tap your little app right here and put the front mode on. In theory, what this is doing is it's suppressing the noise around you. All the noise around you doesn't go away, but it's less. And if you think about that, that gives you the upper hand over somebody that's got decent hearing, but doesn't wear the hearing aids because they can't do that. So now you have the ability to kind of squish, get rid of, squish is the right word, get rid of the noise and the distractions around you and just hear what's in front of you. Finally, as I show you all this, you go, well, it'd be cool if it would remember where these settings were so that each time I turn this on, I don't have to go through this. Here's the good news. There are presets. They give you 4 presets to kind of experiment with. Outdoors, noisy indoor, music, all that good stuff. You can build your own presets and name them. I named this one Dog Walk. Maybe on the dog walk, you like, I don't know, a little bit more, you like a little bit more high end because you don't want to walk into traffic or whatever it might be, a car's approaching, and you can save all that stuff. Now, wherever you leave them, when you pop them into the charge stand is where they will go back to when you wake up the next day or the next time you put them on. So you don't have to worry about constantly doing that. But the good news is what I just showed you. There's always there's always the ability to be able to change the setting based on your environment. And let's talk about